Hello and welcome to OSOT, your one source of truth news network. At OSOT, we acknowledge stakeholder global capitalists and welcome everyone to the new one world country, the original country, and pay our deepest respect to Big Pharma, past, present and emerging. Starting today's news in Canada. The Canadian truckers, which sparked hundreds of thousands of Australian Nazis to march to Canberra House here in Australia, are still rightly being labelled as racist and Nazis by Trudeau and his ilk, who are all working on creating a vaccine that stops these protesters from using their bank accounts to stop the spread of highly contagious mis- and disinformation. He can be seen here talking in baguette language.
Blackface.
And I dressed up in an Aladdin costume and put makeup on.
Mais il y a aussi des gens qui sont farouchement opposés à la vaccination.
Qui sont extrémistes.
Qui ne croient pas dans la science, qui sont souvent misogynes, souvent racistes aussi. C'est un petit groupe, mais qui prend de la place. Et là, il faut faire un choix en tant que leader, en tant que pays. Est-ce qu'on tolère ces...
Blackface.
Pick up baguette. Trudeau, along with all his mates involved in the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization and other worldly organizations such as the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, have paid the experts to discover that the reason for adults who are spontaneously exploding and suddenly adult dying all around the place is scientifically proven to be the result of climate change. Fortunately, although too late, they have found ground zero and traced the origin back to Def Leppard drummers. But as there wasn't a vaccine in place, it is now spread around the world and is an epidemic of man-made proportions. Unlike those who suddenly adult dropped dead in China in early 2020, none of the recent SDDs break their own fall at the last second or have been seen taking cigarette breaks whilst in body bags. We cross now to Sam to bring us the latest. Can we have someone check in on him, yeah? He's had a bit too much climate change, I think. Experts believe that the solution will come from taking unprecedented action, such as implementing permanent digital footprints via microchips and shifting to 15-minute cities to counter this unprecedented precedent. As blocking out the sun is proving rather difficult, a vaccine is also being developed to make everyone's skin black, which along with making everyone sun-friendly, will once and for all put an end to systemic white racism.
Blackface.
What do you think, Sam? Unprecedented, that's for sure. Those who left Melbourne to go to Perth now realise that no matter where you live in Australia, you can't escape omnibus bills. A Perth bus driver who had an altercation with the passenger because the passenger wasn't wearing a mask has been granted brown shirt status a week later. This means he can go back in time to serve this passenger with hearing papers in retrospect for not having complied hard enough. To agricultural news now. After climate change caused the Murray-Darling Basin plan to destroy all our farmers, what is now called the bug trade has taken off like a plague of unvaccinated locusts. Delicious bugs are being sold in 1,000 school canteens right across Australia. Oh, look how delicious those are in those colourful packages. The packaging has been made from recycled masks. To encourage grade 6 children to reach a grade 3 level of literacy, children can now receive 1 pack of meat-flavoured dried crickets after they have read the postmodern version of Hansel and Gretel, Shamsel and Shimsel, and the Man Who Became a Witch. Fathers who complain about the reading of such a book by transvestite witches handing out well-packaged treats will receive a call from the Human Rights Tribunal. If you suspect your mum or dad of being Nazis, and they can be of any race, but it's better if they're Christian, you can call this number today. To sport now, and a tremendous display of bravery. As multiculturally imprisoned cricket fans watch the BBL First Nations cricket match and try not to be seen by the wardens yawning at being welcomed to the country they were born in for the 250th time, the cricket captain, through the sunroof of his Range Rover, rips off his Coal Energy Company logo jersey to bravely display his white chest that says "Renewables equals humanity." This cricket human rights renewables activist then flew first class to a heavily polluted city in India to make lots of money and like all the CCP useful idiot influencers out there, dropped into Xinjiang, China, to be escorted around by his Chinese communist keepers who made sure he played on the field and didn't visit any of the Uyghur Muslim slave camps producing his lovely green solar panels. Gotta love those solar panels. Women's Netball Australia decided to break through that stadium glass ceiling by telling Australia's richest and most successful woman that she can't even carry drinks for the team, let alone give them $20 million because of something her rich white father once said. Fortunately for those women, a rich white man came to their rescue. This man had previously secured 10 million PCR tests from China that we had the privilege of paying for, which enabled everyone to be continuously locked up in Melbourne. We now flash back to that lovely time in Melbourne's recent history where we saw all Melbourne kids' parks closed and basketball rings taken down around the Commission flats for the children's safety, of course.
That's correct, Chair. I think reality is the criminals involved in this, horrendous form of crime have seen COVID-19 as an opportunity because they know that more children are at home online. And we picked that up through their chat rooms.
I can't, we all play sport. It's hard to keep somebody like us in the house.
Basketball rings.
Taking down the rings.
Hi, Sammy.
Sammy, are you making a video?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we can free it.
And the latest in education. A new omnibus bill now requires Nazi parents released from prison to only see their children in school under supervision of a human rights tribunal bureaucrat. Thank goodness. In a morning's lessons, after the boys learn that they are all potential rapists, a scheme brought in by the Liberal government, children learn about how lucky we are to live in a country where you can get rid of pregnancies up until the day of birth. And after watching an instructional video of the late-term abortion process, they sit through 3 hours of climate change lessons, awesome, which include daily briefings on the wonders of Chinese-made solar panels and wind turbines made by sterilised Uyghur women. Students are now also required to salute a Mao-style image of Daniel Andrews before they can go outside to eat the bugs.
We've got a son who's in grade 5, he's at a public school, and it's part of the curriculum that they discuss COVID and the benefits of getting the injection, and he had to write a persuasive text as to why he should be vaccinated.
Did you have to write a persuasive piece on why people should get vaccinated? Why youth should get vaccinated?
Yeah, I did.
Did you write it?
No, I didn't. I told Mike I wouldn't write it.
Blackface.
Victorians are now just realising how many Nazi parents are out there. As we've now reported proudly on many times, one parent who was seen questioning one of the Love is Love posters at their children's school just a bit too long was immediately seized by the Human Rights Tribunal officer who escorted her back to prison. That's one Nazi who won't be parenting her children anymore, hey Sam? To politics now. Matthew Guy has been spotted taking ukulele lessons from Scott Morrison on Josh Frydenberg's yacht. Josh was able to buy this yacht after being headhunted for a multinational company right after the Liberals put Australia into the worst catastrophic debt that we have ever seen. Their first YouTube video, a blues song about how tough it is to be a career politician, accompanied by the world's smallest violin, failed to be seen by pretty much everyone after nearly 3 full years. After deciding to ignore developing and very promising YouTube ideas for over a year, their second video, a TikTok dance video titled Unprecedented, shows them with self-donned halos rapping about how they saved Australia from a once-in-a-century death spiral. To the economy now. Inflation, 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 debt, debt, debt. As every day of the year now celebrates something unique, to take the focus off those segregated and offensive days such as Christmas and Easter, we draw close to the once-in-a-year parade of Dan's bronze statue. And those prisoners are now in for a new treat. Sluggate Meals on EV driverless wheels will now provide all prison meals at Victorian prisons after it was found that all competitors were causing food poisoning and was subsequently shut down. One lucky inmate will receive a golden get-out-of-jail-free card with their delicious cicada dinner, which, when presented to senior Victorian police who poo-pooed the Red Shirts investigation, allows the inmate to walk behind the great bronze statue and lead the parade chant, hey ho, government is our one source of truth, anti-vaxxers have got to go. Just one too many words in there, hey Sam? This parade is a special treat for approved Melburnians, as everyone who attends receives 200 tokens of the new digital currency. The unique audible experience of hearing everyone's microchips chiming as the tokens are uploaded proves the track and trace system is finally working. Yes. For the non-believers who don't attend, they get to hear the little ba-ba sound as they lose 500 credits, followed by an LED one-word message which shows through their skin Nazi. As the only jobs available now are in government, Dan Andrews has hired his 1,500 personal member of staff who receives the typical 200,000 credits per year. As we all know, government workers are more equal than others. Their microchip allows travel outside of their 15-minute zones as they please without being given a hefty fine or having their electricity turned off. Oh, we now have a breaking update from the weekly press briefing being held at where the great leader's bronze statue will be. Sam. Okay, I'll read it then. Yet another reason has been found for the mysterious rise of adults dying suddenly deaths that, like all other things, never seemed to be a problem before. This reason has been added to the growing list of activities which are now banned to prevent ambulances ramping for more than 48 hours. We remind you that last week it was a spot of gardening. This week it's standing in the sun too long and self-combusting. And next week it's mixed doubles table tennis. Experts will also tell us in 3 weeks' time that monkeypox is to be found on monkey bars and therefore all the parks are going to be closed again. Oh, sorry, that was meant to be experts predict.
Blackface.
To weather now. As another hot summer season rages on, unjabbed firefighters are still prevented from putting out any of the fires in case they give monkeypox to singed koalas. Seriously, when will these people pull their heads in? People are literally dropping dead. Selfish. And finally, in entertainment.
I don't mean to brag, I don't care, but I want you to know, double vaxxed, booster, flu shot, and I'm going to be honest, I have the shingle shot too. And I still get my period. What? Yes! Traveled, went to Mexico twice, did shows, meet and greets, never got COVID. Clearly, Jesus loves me the most. Seriously. So nice, so nice.
In 4 weeks' time, famous actors will begin shooting their quadrilogy finale, a new action-packed thriller called Catastrophic Contagion. We're all in this together again. This, of course, comes after the first box office thriller sellers of Blocking Out the Sun, We're All Going to Die from CO2, COVID Snakes on a Plane, We're All on This Plane Together, and the biggest seller to date, Event 201, We're All in This Together, Let's Fast Track Medical Trials. Oh, more billionaires to come. The director has made an interesting decision to make every role transgender in case any of the actors suddenly adult die on set and they need a stand-in from the remaining pool of available actors. If you want to see something a bit more cheerful and slapstick, we recommend My Struggle, 2 Steps of Doom. I'll certainly be enjoying that one from my quarantine cubicle, Sam. If you would like to support this important news source, you can buy one of these amazing new t-shirts. But really, if you would like to support this channel and hear things that perhaps won't be covered in other narrative-driven tunnel vision places, please consider becoming a monthly supporter on Buy Me a Coffee or Patreon. A big thank you to Ron, who just became a Gold Arrow member on Buy Me a Coffee. Thanks, Ron. And thank you, everyone, for watching.